We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Daniel. This comes from Facebook. Some of Daniel's speaker wires are in the walls and they were pre-installed. So how can he double check to be certain that none of his speakers are wired out of phase? It's a 7.1 setup, so the old THX DVDs don't have test tones for all of those speakers. Well, first of all, you don't, just because it's in your ceiling or in your walls or someplace else doesn't mean that you have to wire them that way. You just can switch the wires in the back of the receiver when you're using the test tones, and it will tell you. You can do it that way as well. There's no reason why you just can't switch the wires in the back of the receiver.
Are you saying, are you saying run your auto setup and it'll give you the error message that one of your speakers is out of phase? Or
yeah, you can do that.
I mean, just if you're only playing one test tone at a time, you can't tell just by ear that it's out of phase.
No. But he's saying that, okay, so there were the THX DVDs in the test thing did have a phase thing where it would check your phase. So you're like, okay, check the phase of these speakers, check the phase of these speakers, or whatever. If it only does 5.1 and you have a 7.1 setup, just change the wires.
So you're saying plug in your surround backs
for your surrounds
to your front left and right,
or your front left and right, and then check it that way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but there's no reason you can't.
You have to make sure you keep good track of. This black wire went to this binding post, this red wire went to this binding post. Because the whole point he's saying is the binding posts or whatever he has coming out of his pre-wired walls, they might be labeled black and red, but how do I know for sure all the internal wiring was done correctly and I'm actually wiring black to black and red to red?
You could also just wire them up, and what Rob said at the very beginning there, just wire them all up, and then if you have a newer receiver that can handle all these speakers, it's going to test for phase anyways.
Yeah, if you have your auto room set up. That's going to be one of the parts of it is testing your speakers, whether they're in phase or not. Of course, sometimes you do get an error message, or sometimes you get something saying it's out of phase when it isn't. So it's not 100%. I understand asking this question. There is the THX Tune-up App, but that also tops out at 5.1, so it's not really any more useful than the THX DVDs. So what I would recommend is getting one of the Blu-ray setup discs. In particular, I know for 100% certain that the Spears and Munsil HD Benchmark 2nd edition, it for sure has a 7-channel phase check, a polarity check.
Right.
So that definitely has the signal that you need to do this on a disc if you want to pick it up. It's a nice disc to have anyway, just to check all your setup and settings of your display and everything for HD and 3D, but not UHD. That hasn't come out yet.
I know that, it's nice having those discs, but the reality is you use them once and put them away.
Pretty much.
It seems like if he's already got that other disc, just switch the wires.
Switch the wires.
So much easier.
Keep good track of it.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.